Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has articulated a nuanced and ambitious objective for his government's housing policy to enhance the affordability for younger Canadians while maintaining the value of homes for current homeowners. This delicate balancing act involves reducing shelter costs without diminishing the property values that many homeowners rely on for their financial security and retirement plans. Despite the apparent contradiction, Trudeau remains steadfast in his assurance that property owners will not suffer a loss in their home equity, underscoring both the government's commitment to affordability and financial stability. Housing needs to retain its value, Trudeau emphasized during an interview on the Globe and Mail's City Space podcast. It's a huge part of people's potential for retirement and future nest egg. Canada's housing market has been seen as a dramatic escalation in prices over the past few decades, leaving many residents, particularly younger Canadians, unable to afford homes. National home values have surged in the average price of over $735,000, with prices in cities like Toronto surpassing $1 million. Concurrently, rental costs have been rising steadily, exacerbating frustrations among young demographics, a key voter base that Trudeau's government is keen to support. In response to these escalating costs, the federal government has revised several programs aimed at first-time homebuyers. These revisions include allowing these buyers to secure insured mortgages with a 30-year amortization period for pre-construction homes. Additionally, Ottawa has committed billions of dollars in incentives and tax breaks to boost the construction of rental housing. These measures are part of a broader strategy to address the housing crisis by increasing supply and making home ownership more accessible. Over the past 2 decades, the tripling of residential real estate values have significantly increased the wealth of homeowners. Many Canadians view their home as their most substantial asset, crucial for retirement planning and generational wealth transfer. The dramatic rise in property values has enabled many to build substantial equity, providing a financial cushion for their later years. However, this steep rise in home prices has also widened the gap between homeowners and renters, the latter of whom lack the opportunity to build equity through property ownership. Acknowledging this disparity, Trudeau remarked, "The difference between someone who's rented all their lives versus someone who is a homeowner in terms of the money they have for retirement is massive. And that's not necessarily always fair." He stated on the podcast, "This recognition points to the broader social and economic implications of the housing market, where home ownership is increasingly seen not just a place to live, but a crucial component of financial security and upward mobility." Despite recent policy measures, immediate improvements in housing affordability remain unlikely, especially given the rapid population growth and the influx of newcomers searching for housing. Canada's population is growing at its fastest pace in decades, driven by immigration and natural growth, which intensifies the demand for housing. While governments at all levels are encouraging faster development, the pace of new home construction has slowed, partly due to high borrowing costs. Moreover, the construction of new homes and apartments inherently takes several years to materialize. Douglas Porter, chief economist with the Bank of Montreal, pointed out the slow pace of supply changes in the housing market. Supply can only change gradually, so realistically, it's the demand side that will drive the market over the short haul, he explained. Porter identified 3 potential factors that could enhance affordability for Canadians: increased incomes, lower borrowing costs, and/or reduced home prices. The housing market has experienced sluggish activity over the past 2 years, a consequence of the Bank of Canada's interest rate hikes amid curbing inflation. These rate increases have made borrowing more expensive, thereby dampening demand and slowing price growth. Although the typical home price has decreased by about 10% from the peak of the pandemic real estate surge in early 2022, current values remain 37% higher than those in 2019, according to data from the Canadian Real Estate Association. Trudeau's challenge lies in navigating the complexities of the housing market to achieve his government's dual goals without disadvantaging any group. Balancing affordability for new buyers while preserving the value of existing homeowners is a nuanced endeavor that will require ongoing adjustments and innovation policy solutions. This approach includes not only financial measures, but also regulatory changes, incentives for developers, and potential novel housing models like co-ownership and expanded cooperative housing. In my opinion, you can't have both. Either you have the boomer with a very expensive asset that funds their retirement, or you have a drastic decline in housing prices where it becomes more affordable for younger Canadians. Additionally, the federal government's strategy encompasses various aspects of urban planning and infrastructure development. Investments in public transit and the creation of more sustainable, walkable communities are part of a holistic approach to the housing affordability crisis. By improving the quality and accessibility of neighborhoods, the government aims to make a better, broader range of living situations viable and attractive, potentially easing the pressure on housing markets in major urban centers like Toronto. Furthermore, addressing the housing crisis involves collaboration between federal, provincial, and municipal governments. Each level of government plays a critical role in zoning, land use regulations, and the provision of services. Coordinated efforts are essential to streamline processes, reduce bureaucratic hurdles, and accelerate the development of new housing projects so more people can get into the market. Trudeau's housing policy reflects a comprehensive and multifaceted approach to one of Canada's most pressing issues. By striving to make housing more affordable while ensuring that property values remain stable, the government aims to support both current homeowners and aspiring buyers. This delicate balance is crucial for maintaining economic stability and acquiring equitable access to housing across the country. With that being said, some noticeable problems have been access to cheap credit, housing becoming commoditized, an influx of immigration without consideration on housing supply. This is definitely a huge complex issue. And like I said in the video, I don't think you can have a decline in house prices without affordability for the younger generation. But let us know what you think in the comments below of what Justin Trudeau said on this podcast. And do you think it's just a political move as we approach an election? As always, please like and share to support the channel, and we'll see you guys very soon.